Hello and welcome to the Den. My name's Rotary Claw, and today I have a homework session, I suppose. Um, so this is, I'm sure, like many other people, everybody's semester is just coming to the end because of Christmas and everything, so I decided to record the process for my, painting over one of my final projects. So feel free to grab some snacks, grab your sketchbook and sketch along with me, or whatever homework you may have, and let's have some fun with this. So I guess I'll give a bit of context on what this project is. So this project was concept art, basically learning concept art environments. So I actually used Maya for the first time to 3D render some of the buildings and everything, which was a process, but I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. So this project, the whole thing has been going on for the last 2 months basically, and this is my final form of it. So I modeled an exterior and an interior shot. Each classmate we could choose from a prompt, so the prompt I chose was a tattoo shop called Transforms, which, as you can see in the sketch, is the name I have in the center building. So it was my job to basically build this building exterior and interior to be a tattoo shop. So we were all given a movie to reference for style. So the movie I was given was the movie Up. So that is the style that I am referencing for this, and this is after, again, 2 months of work. This is my final iteration of everything that I was putting together. So I hope you can see some Up in it. As I go through, I tried to pick colors that were corresponding to Carl's house, because he had a lot of green, red, yellow, a lot of bright colors. So I tried to stay true to that as much as I could, while still keeping a sort of painterly feel to it that still felt like my art style, I suppose. So basically I got the 3D render, I had my building, and I just had blocks for the other two buildings I have in here, and that is what I'm painting over. So I started with just some basic tones so I could figure out what I wanted to be darker, what I wanted to be lighter, that sort of thing. And I had already done a color study in class, so I had a feel for what colors I wanted to use and where I wanted to put them. So I already had a vague idea for that, although you can still see me fiddling with stuff, trying to get the saturation right and all of that stuff. But yeah, so basically my plan, as I didn't know quite what I was doing going into this, as I've never drawn a environment or any sort of scene like this, so I figured I should have some sort of plan going in. So I wanted to just get my base colors down, so I could still change them and edit them as I went, should I see the need to do so. So I wanted to get all the flat colors down, and then I wanted to go in and add a lot of texture, because in Up, that was something I noticed in the main house. You could see the siding, you could see the roof had you could see the wood texture, just tiles. You could see all the texture. It was quite realistic in that sense. So I wanted to try to stay true to that. So after I added in all the flat colors, I went over and added some brick texture, tried to add some siding. I definitely could have done it a bit more realistic and such, but again, I wanted to keep a painterly feel to it. So that's, I kept it a little bit loose and just kind of had fun with placing the lines just wherever my pen felt they should go, basically. So as I was adding the texture, I also added in some just basic shadows. My original plan was to actually go over with one color over everything to add in some more shadows and maybe even some highlights, some sunlight. But once I was kind of done with adding in all the base texture, I didn't really feel the need to do that after the shadows that I had already added in. I think partially because I kind of got carried away at adding those original shadows and added shadows that I wasn't going to add until later. But I actually really like how this looks, because it feels a bit more it feels cohesive, but also not, if that makes sense. But I'm very happy with how this turned out, and it was definitely a huge experiment. So yeah, that is all I have to say about it. I'll leave you with the rest of the video for a few minutes. If you like it, feel free to subscribe to see more of my artwork in the future, and make sure you leave a like to show me that you appreciate the work that I did. Have a good day.